She waited until dinner. A full house. 17 people gathered around the table. Kids giggling, silverware clinking, warmth in the air. But then, she said it. "I'm just so glad you're finally getting married. I won't be embarrassed at church anymore." The words sliced the air sharper than any carving knife. And then he chimed in. My dad, nodding in agreement. So proud of my 3 older kids. They did it right. Got married before living together. Or made it official right away. My fiancée's face turned red. She looked down at her plate, quiet, still. And just like that, the food lost all its flavor. I've heard it all before. The judgment, the condescension, the subtle digs hidden behind polite smiles. My parents are deeply religious, and in their eyes, their youngest son is living in sin. Because I live with the woman I love. Because we didn't rush into marriage just to make someone else comfortable. Because we waited. We planned. And then the world changed. And we got busy. 2 careers, 2 years, and still, our commitment never wavered. But they never stopped commenting. This time, though, it was different. It wasn't just about me. They went after her, in front of everyone. And I wasn't going to let that slide. See, I'm a nurse practitioner. I handle a lot of low-risk maternity cases at my clinic. I know what it means for a baby to be born early. I know what it looks like. I've held 1-pound miracles in the palm of my hand. So I brought up a case I'd read recently. A baby born almost 3 months premature, just 1.6 pounds, a fighter. The NICU had high hopes. And then I turned to my parents. "Didn't you say my brother was born about 4 months premature?" Silence. "And he was, what, 9 pounds, 23 inches?" They looked like they'd seen a ghost. That's when I asked, casually, if we could take a look at the old family album. You know, the one with all the birth records and baby photos. I already knew what I'd find, because Grandma told me everything the first time they tried to shame me. The math never added up. My brother wasn't premature. He was born 5 months after the wedding. Full term. Big. Healthy. It's funny. For all their sermons, their prayers, their shame about living in sin, they started their marriage under the very same circumstances. And now they want to rewrite history. The subject changed fast. Too fast. Everyone at the table noticed the shift. The kids kept eating. The cousins exchanged glances. And the moment passed. But after dinner, they pulled me aside. "You shouldn't bring up private things," my mom said. "It's not your concern." And that's when I said what needed to be said. If I ever hear another word about my living situation, I'll bring it up. Every time. I'll bring up that you were in your 2nd trimester when you got married. I'll remind you that I didn't make that up. I heard it from your own mother. That was the line. Not yelled. Not dramatic. Just the truth. They were mad. Of course they were. Said I had no right to tell them how to behave in their own home. But I've told them before. I don't stay with them anymore. I book a hotel when I visit. Because boundaries mean something. The truth is, I didn't do this to hurt them. I did it to protect the woman I love. She didn't deserve to be humiliated because someone else couldn't own their past. And guess what? It worked. The comments stopped. The judgment, the lectures, the veiled shame, they went quiet. For the first time in years, we sat through the rest of the holiday without the weight of someone else's expectations dragging us down. My fiancée smiled again. She laughed. She belonged. That's all I wanted. So, am I the asshole? For calling out hypocrisy with facts? for protecting someone I love from old wounds dressed up as tradition, for using their own history to draw a line they wouldn't dare cross again? Or does a family's past become fair game the moment they use yours as ammunition? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but maybe they shouldn't have started something they weren't prepared to finish. Because you can't build your house out of secrets and throw stones from the porch. And you definitely don't get to judge someone else for a path you once walked in silence. Not anymore. This story isn't just about a holiday dinner gone tense. It's about the legacy of shame, how it passes down, masquerading as morality. It's about the walls we build around the truth just to keep up appearances. And it's about the quiet courage it takes to say, enough. This wasn't revenge. It wasn't blackmail. It was a boundary, delivered with calm, not cruelty. And it worked, because sometimes the only way to stop being the family scapegoat is to become the mirror. And when people see themselves clearly, when they hear their own contradictions out loud, silence becomes the only honest response. So ask yourself, when your values clash with your history, do you confront the truth? Or do you keep pretending the math works out? Let us know what you think in the comments. Was OP out of line, or finally in the right place? And if you've ever faced judgment from someone with a secret of their own, you're not alone. This is the AITA Story Vault, where the truth echoes louder than tradition.